The hidden math behind a $300 hotel room. Imagine checking into a luxury hotel in New York City. The room costs $300 for one night. You tap your card, take the key, walk into the room, and think, this hotel just made $300 from me. But that isn't really what happened because the hotel didn't make $300. It sold you a room for $300. And between that $300 and actual profit is an entire machine of employees, electricity, cleaning, food, maintenance, taxes, technology, debt, commissions, and empty rooms. And here's the strange part: the hotel can have a fantastic night and still lose money. So let's build one from scratch. Call it the Grand Meridian, a hypothetical five-star hotel in downtown Chicago. It costs $120 million to build. There are 400 rooms, a restaurant, a rooftop bar, a fitness center, a spa, meeting rooms, and a massive ballroom designed for weddings, conferences, and corporate events. The building is beautiful, but beauty doesn't pay the mortgage. The hotel needs customers every single night. The first problem: an empty room is gone forever. It's Friday night. The hotel has 400 rooms. The average room rate is $300, but only 320 rooms are sold. That's 80% occupancy. So the hotel collects 320 times $300 equals $96,000 in room revenue. Sounds pretty good. But what about the other 80 rooms? They're sitting there, clean, heated, air conditioned, maintained, available, but empty. And here's the brutal economics of hotels: you can't store an unsold room. If a hotel doesn't sell room 2 and 18 tonight, it can't sell two room 2 and 18s tomorrow. Tonight's inventory disappears at midnight. That's completely different from selling a physical product. A car dealership can leave a car on the lot, a warehouse can keep a television until next month, but a hotel room has an expiration date every night. And that creates one of the most important concepts in the hotel business. Occupancy isn't enough. Imagine two hotels. Hotel A is 95% full, but its average room rate is $150. Hotel B is only 70% full, but its average room rate is $300. Which hotel is doing better? This is where hotel economics gets interesting. The industry uses a metric called RevPAR, revenue per available room, not revenue per occupied room, available room. That's important. Our Grand Meridian has 400 rooms. At an average rate of $300 and 80% occupancy, its RevPAR is $300, 80%, $240. That number tells management something the $300 room rate doesn't. The hotel isn't generating $300 from every room it owns. It's generating an average of $240 per available room. And suddenly, those 80 empty rooms become impossible to ignore. The price isn't really $300. Now comes the question every hotel has to answer. What should we charge tonight? $300? $350? $500? $180? There isn't one permanent answer. Hotels constantly adjust prices based on demand. If there's a major concert in town, rates can rise. If a convention fills the city, rates can rise. If it's a slow Tuesday in January, rates might fall. If competitors are discounting, the hotel has to respond. This is called revenue management. And modern hotel pricing can become incredibly sophisticated. The hotel is essentially asking, how much is each room worth tonight? Not next month, not next year, tonight, because the inventory expires at midnight. Hash. But the room is only the beginning. Now imagine you check in, you pay $300 for the room, but you don't just sleep there. You order a $25 breakfast, you have a $60 dinner, you buy two cocktails for $30, you order $25 room service, and you spend $100 at the spa. Your original $300 room has now become a $540 customer. And that's where the hotel business becomes much more interesting, because the hotel isn't really selling you a room. It's trying to create an ecosystem around your stay. Room, food, drinks, parking, spa, meetings, events, room service, laundry, retail, and sometimes even transportation. Every department has the potential to generate revenue. But there's another catch. Revenue isn't profit. That $60 dinner has food costs, labor costs, kitchen costs, credit card fees, taxes, utilities, and overhead. So the hotel isn't asking, how much did this guest spend? It's asking, how much profitable revenue did this guest generate? That's a very different question. The wedding business. Now imagine Saturday arrives, and the ballroom is hosting a wedding. 500 guests walk through the doors. Suddenly, the hotel isn't just selling rooms, it's selling an event. The couple might spend tens of thousands of dollars on food, drinks, tables, flowers, staff, the ballroom, audio equipment, guest rooms, breakfast the next morning. And suddenly, one wedding activates multiple businesses inside the same building. This is why a large hotel isn't simply a place where people sleep. It's an economic ecosystem. The rooms bring customers in. The restaurants monetize them. The ballroom monetizes events. The spa monetizes leisure. The meeting rooms monetize businesses. And the brand helps bring customers through the front door. Now come the bills. Let's say the hotel generates $20 million in annual revenue. That sounds enormous. But now start subtracting payroll, housekeeping, food, utilities, insurance, property taxes, maintenance, laundry, security, technology, marketing, booking commissions, credit card fees, repairs, debt payments, and capital expenditures. Because luxury hotels have another problem. Luxury gets old. That beautiful lobby eventually looks dated. The carpet wears out. Mattresses need replacing. Bathrooms need renovation. Furniture gets damaged. Technology becomes obsolete. Guests expect the hotel to look better than it did 5 years ago. So the owner has to keep spending money just to maintain the perception of luxury. And that creates a strange business reality. The hotel has to spend money to protect the price it charges. Tash, the most expensive employee, is sometimes the one you never see. A five-star hotel can have hundreds of employees. Housekeepers, chefs, servers, front desk employees, engineers, security, managers, concierge staff, maintenance crews, sales teams, and behind all of them is something customers rarely think about: 24-hour operations. The building doesn't close at 6 p.m. Someone has to answer the phone at 2 a.m. Someone has to fix a broken air conditioner. Someone has to handle a late check-in. Someone has to respond when a guest says the room isn't right. A luxury hotel isn't just selling physical space. It's selling service availability, and availability is expensive. So why do hotel brands matter? Now imagine you've spent $120 million building a hotel, but nobody knows your name. Why should a traveler choose you, especially when there are hundreds of hotels nearby? This is where brands such as Entity Company, Marriott International, Global Hotel Company, Entity H Marriott International, Hilton Sting Hyatt N, every building carrying their name. Instead, they can use management agreements, franchise agreements, loyalty programs, reservation systems, technology, marketing, and brand standards. The building can belong to one owner, the brand can belong to another company, and the operator can manage the hotel. That's one of the most important ideas in modern hospitality. You don't necessarily have to own the building to make money from the building. The brand can earn fees, the owner gets the property's economics, the operator gets management revenue, and the customer gets a familiar experience. Everyone is monetizing a different part of the same asset: the hidden power of loyalty. Now think about a traveler who has stayed at the same hotel brand 20 times. They already know what they're getting. They have points, they have status, they know how the app works, they trust the reservation system. They might even pay slightly more because the uncertainty is lower. And that's incredibly valuable because in business, trust can reduce friction. A completely unknown hotel might have to convince you to spend $250. A familiar brand may only need to show you the price. That's part of what you're paying for when you book a recognized hotel, not just four walls. You're paying for predictability. Then 2020 happens. Now imagine the hotel's entire business model depends on people traveling. And suddenly, people stop traveling. Airplanes are grounded, business conferences disappear, tourism collapses, events are canceled, hotel rooms become empty. But here's the nightmare: the building doesn't disappear. The mortgage is still there. The property taxes are still there, insurance is still there, maintenance doesn't completely stop, security doesn't disappear, the hotel still exists, but the revenue can collapse. This is the danger of a capital-intensive business with relatively fixed costs. When demand disappears, costs don't necessarily disappear with it. That's why hotels can be incredibly profitable in strong markets and incredibly painful during demand shocks. So why build one? Because when everything works, the economics can be powerful. Imagine the Grand Meridian is in a great location. Occupancy is strong, room rates are high, the restaurant is busy, the rooftop bar is packed, corporate meetings fill the conference rooms, weddings fill the ballroom, the spa attracts local customers, and the loyalty program keeps bringing travelers back. Suddenly, That $120 million building isn't just a hotel. It's multiple businesses operating under one roof. And that's the hidden math. The hotel isn't trying to make money from a room. It's trying to maximize the economic value of every guest, every square foot, and every night. The number that actually matters. But here's where investors have to be careful. A hotel generating $30 million in revenue isn't automatically a great investment. You have to ask, how much did it cost to build? How much debt is attached to it? How much does the hotel spend on payroll? What is the occupancy rate? What's the average daily rate? What's the RevPAR? How much comes from rooms? How much comes from food and beverage? How much does the property need in renovations? And after everything is paid, how much cash is actually left? That's the number that matters, because a business can look enormous from the outside and still produce disappointing returns. Hash, the real secret. So the next time you walk into a five-star hotel and see a $300 room, don't just think they made $300 from me. Think about the entire machine behind that number: the empty room next door, the housekeeper who prepared it, the electricity running the air conditioner, the reservation platform that sold it, the brand that created trust, the restaurant waiting downstairs, the ballroom preparing tomorrow's wedding, the mortgage attached to the building, and the millions of dollars the owner may eventually have to spend renovating it. Because the real business of a luxury hotel isn't selling rooms, it's turning temporary space into recurring economic activity. A room exists for one night, but if the hotel can turn that one night into a dinner, a drink, a spa treatment, a wedding, a business conference, a loyalty relationship, and eventually another booking, then the economics become much more powerful. And that's the hidden math behind the five-star hotel room. The room is the product you see. The ecosystem is the business you don't. Absolutely.